All right, what's good, everybody? Like, share, subscribe, Cash App, $ Winston Spivey. So here, I'm going to do another video here about another heinous act. And like I say, I just did a video about a police chief. I'm not police chief, I'm sorry. A police officer that got arrested for sexual misconduct, okay? This kind of thing. So, I guess more of these so-called leaders of a position of trust are going to be held accountable and things of that nature. Okay, and I hope that a lot more are going to come about. Now, I want to talk about this guy, Robert Morris, okay, a well-renowned pastor, okay, or so-called pastor. And he is on Donald Trump's spiritual advisory team. Him and that other woman, I forgot that other lady, okay? The one that started out actually a black man put her on and all that, and then turned on the community. I forgot her name, Paula. I think her Paula something, okay? Yeah, that other lady, all right? And she's sketchy as well. But anyway, look, this guy done got arrested, okay, for like an sexual misconduct of a minor, okay? That is something that came back and bit him in the ass because this happened back in 1981 or 1982, okay, when he was 21 years old, something like that, 2021, okay? He's 64 now, okay? He was a young pastor at the time, youth coach, and he was messing around with this 11-year-old girl, okay? This woman now is 55 years old, okay? And this is something that went on for about 5 years, from what I understand, okay? Where I guess there was groping and molestation and that kind of thing, all right? I'm pretty sure that there was some type of penetration and that type of stuff, okay? To where all of a sudden he stopped in 1985 or around 86, something like that, okay? So it was one of the things, maybe he didn't think it was going to catch up with him, but she came forward about it, okay? And I don't know if they had some type of advocate group that helped push this case through, but this man ended up being arrested here, okay? Just recently, all right, a few days ago, arrested based on what I told you about. Now, this guy was supposed to do something like 5-6 years. He had to register as an sex offender, but he's only going to do 6 months. Okay, he's going to do 6 months and had to pay this lady something like $250,000 in, punitive damages and that kind of thing, mental anguish, and So there's an ambulance coming up. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm not trying to make this into a political thing. But obviously, if he, is a supporter of Donald Trump, and republicanism and things of that nature, if they're on the right side, all right, then you would think that they would, try to combat or condone or not try to bring in people that would do this type of stuff, right? You would think that, okay? They're trying to do things like denigrate, the LGBT community and all that, since they're on the far right side, all right? I mean, you would think that, right? But then again, they turn around and do this type of stuff, okay? You got guys or whatever that are in that party, I guess I'm going to say allegedly, out of all fairness, okay? Like on the Epstein files and that kind of thing, all right? Although that they're supposed to be combating it, all right? So it seemed like that they're doing this, some of these people, okay, but we're gonna on to this preacher, but these preachers and things like that are doing the same things that they're trying to stop, okay, or need to be trying to stop, okay. So those show that a lot of these doggone are not practicing what they preach, okay. So once again, this guy had built up like a mega church, from what I understand, okay. They're earning millions of dollars. I guess he's got like a private jet, so he's going around, was going around, preaching to people and being like an evangelist. And it's my understanding for years, he must have known the family that he was coming out to Oklahoma where this woman lived or grew up, and then came to see the family during the holidays and that kind of thing, okay? So I guess when it was brought to his attention, and I think when the heat had started coming down, then the guy tried to minimize it, things of that nature. But I guess it got to a point to where, like I say, that the evidence must have popped up. He got arrested, and, he's gotten dealt with. All right? But this is just a drop in the bucket of many, so-called preachers. I happen to know a few right now that I have had a problem with, and that things of that nature, okay, where they're supposed to be, wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, and made death threats to me and things like that, okay, had waved guns, waved guns at me, all right. Guy right here in Las Vegas at one time, I used to be a professional quarterback, okay, and making running his mouth, making terroristic threats, airing people's medical business and people's dirty laundry out there in front of the that type of stuff doesn't really even show, just indicative to us, to a man of God or whatever, okay. So they do have a scripture for me, these preachers or whatever, I even know one, that a couple of guys that sit in the basement or whatever, running their mouth, okay, running down on people, that kind of thing. But it does say that in Matthew, hey, before you want to pluck the log out of somebody else's eye, then pluck the log out of your own eye. But this type of stuff that they do, okay? And there's plenty of these religious frauds on YouTube and things of that nature, okay, that uses religion as a hustle. Now, I'm not saying that people can't do wrong and things like that, and things of that nature, but money shouldn't be the only priority, okay, that kind of thing. Money, the way that, these preachers treat people, that kind of thing. They even had a preacher out there in Atlanta, and I'm not going to ramble on anymore, that was messing with somebody's wife. Actually, Phil Scott was talking about that. Shout out to Philip Scott, okay? And the husband that doggone caught the couple, his wife, and then the preacher in his daughter's bed, because he had to come home early and so forth, okay? Had to come home early for something, and then chase the man out of the house or whatever with his gun, with the doggone preacher or whatever holding his clothes. He's up on some old Friday stuff, Y'all remember the preacher done got chased out of the house by the little man or whatever, little mini-me man, So that type of stuff happens. But yeah, we have another man that falls from grace, Robert Morris, okay, big-time preacher. All right, let me go handle some business. Let me know what you think.